Welcome to the Yellow Jacket Experience. I'm your host, Seth Dussault, and joining me this week on episode number 14 of the Yellow Jacket Experience is Wynona Shaw. She's a junior on our field hockey team. Nona, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Seth.
Field hockey, obviously very near and dear to me, and I think everybody kind of knows me as the field hockey guy, so really excited for this episode. Let's start with the game itself. How did you get into field hockey when you were younger, and were there any other sports that you played as well when you were a kid growing up?
Well, growing up, I grew up playing soccer my whole life, so starting as like a little kid. And it wasn't until my sophomore year of high school, actually, that I started playing field hockey. My mom, she grew up playing field hockey, and some of my other aunts, they did as well, played field hockey in Fiji. So my sophomore year of high school, I was just like inspired by them to just try it. And I ended up falling in love with it because it's kind of similar, not really, but kind of like similar to soccer in terms of like the positioning. And so I was able to make that kind of transition into this new sport. And I ended up just liking it a lot, met a lot of good friends through it. So yeah, that's basically how I started.
So you were a lot older than most people when they pick up a sport, is usually as a little kid. And I would guess that part of that's probably being from California and field hockey being really an East Coast sport in the United States. There's only two college teams on the West Coast right now. But how is the sport evolving in places like California, where you're from, in terms of popularity?
So I think field hockey on the West Coast is really on a come up as well. I know there's a lot of high school teams and they have their own club teams and they have their own junior club teams. So for like younger kids, so they're just trying to spread awareness about the sport and starting off players younger and younger. My mom, once again, she's a high school coach at the school is called San Pasqual High School in my city, and she has her own club team for younger kids to teach them the sport and just get people aware of it, get people into it. So yeah, I think it's growing. Definitely still developing, but definitely growing.
And you mentioned family members that played. Your mom, obviously, big time, but you said your aunts as well. What have you learned from them that has helped you become a better field hockey player?
Well, they're all Fijian, so they all tell me, play strong, play aggressive. They pull a lot of inspiration from like the Fiji rugby team, the national team, and tell me like, look at them, they're strong, play like them. Just so basically that, playing strong, playing smart. They always tell me stories about how their experiences playing as they were growing up. So yeah.
Now, obviously, as we mentioned, if you want to play college field hockey, you kind of have to come to the East Coast. Out of all the possible options, how did you decide on AIC as the place for you?
My senior year, I knew I wanted to go to school out of my state just to put myself in a new environment, put myself out there and to grow. And I always knew I wanted to play a sport in college. So I was just looking at different schools and what different schools had to offer. And Ronnie found me, Coach Ronnie. And after talking to her, I really bonded with her and learning more about like what AIC has to offer and like what they stand for, what they can do for people. That pretty much helped me make my decision to coming to this school and dedicating my college years to AIC. So.
Now you've talked about the importance of family. You didn't know it at the time, but one of your cousins is also coming here to play sports, and she's a soccer player, Florina Ravudra, on our women's soccer team. What was it like getting here and realizing, oh, hey, there's my cousin?
It was pretty crazy. I saw her for the first time at one of our practices. So like switching, our teams were just switching off the field, and I just like I went up to her, and we were talking, and then we just found our. I recognized. I mean, looking at her, I could tell this is a Fijian girl. Like, let me see like who she is, who her family is. Fiji is a really small island, so you never know like who you could be related to or where your connections lie. So after us connecting, we just figured like which family members we had that were the same. And happily enough, we found out we're related too. So it was really, I was really, really happy that I found her here. And we're both from California as well. We're both like bonded, and it's great. I love having her here. I'm so happy to have found her.
It's always nice to have a little piece of home, even though it was one you didn't even know existed until that point. That is actually a really crazy story. Your own evolution as a field hockey player here has been phenomenal. Watching you, the way that you improved from your freshman to your sophomore year was astounding to me. What did you focus on to improve yourself as a player, and what are you focusing on now heading into your third year on the field here at AIC?
Um, so I guess starting my freshman year, just looking at my senior players. So like shout out to Nikki Kondo. She's passed Chelsea Davis, Georgia, Kate, Devin, all of them. So basically just looking at them and the standard that they set for me coming into my freshman year and sophomore year, that kind of encouraged me and inspired me to have this different type of work ethic being in college now. And it really set the bar for me to just want to play like them. They're amazing, phenomenal players. So just play as good as them. I They really helped us develop the culture in their years and tell us or remind us like, you know, we could really do amazing things with our team. So that really inspired me to just keep that same energy and do that and pass that on to the next generation under me. So yeah, I think that answered the question. Sorry if that went off.
Oh, you're totally fine. One player actually that has certainly had a significant influence on, especially the defense for AIC the last couple of years, is Caitlin Leclerc, and now she's an assistant coach. What's the experience that you've had playing alongside of her for 2 years, and what's it like being coached by somebody that was a teammate? Like, it's got to be a little different than with Coach Ronnie, who is an alum, but obviously not somebody that you played alongside.
It's really exciting that Kate is coming back to help coach us. We haven't started any like practices per se, so I haven't experienced her coaching me yet, but I know she's gonna do a great job. She's just a natural, like, how do I say this? She's like, I can already tell she's gonna be a great teacher. We're already comfortable with her, being that we know her so well. And I have the girls who had played with her on our team now, we all have a respect for her. So I feel like it's gonna be great having her back. She knows, I feel like she'll be able to pass on what worked for her and how we can improve from her experience, and she knows how we play, so she can help us in that. So I think it'll be great having her back.
Now, obviously, we didn't get to have a normal fall season this year because of the pandemic. The NE10 just announced that there's not going to be a spring season. AIC, however, has decided we're going to play anyway, and we'll play whoever wants to play. What does it mean to you that the college is committed to giving you a chance to compete this year in spite of everything that's happened?
I'm really grateful that the college is still doing that. I think it gives the team a sense of hope that, like, you know, even though stuff outside of school is going crazy, you know, something is consistent in our lives. Like, we're still going to have our sport. We're still going to have our team that's there for us. We're still going to try to do work on our own. And I'm really grateful that we're still going to try to make something work because, even though things aren't going right outside of school, we still have a sense of like a place basically where we can still, try to grow and keep going. So,
You're a public health major, which if ever there was a time to be a public health major, this is it. What has it been like for you with classes being different because of the pandemic and kind of limiting in-person classes, but also kind of what do you hope to do with what you gain with your degree here at AIC?
okay, so classes over Zoom have been honestly uh, not the best, I will say, but I mean, I'm happy we're having something. I'm happy I'm in school. I'm grateful to be still having the opportunity to get my education. But I won't lie, it hasn't been the easiest. It's been definitely an adjustment for everyone. I know some professors probably don't like this change. I know some students definitely don't like this change. It's hard. It's hard going from um, having that option of being in class, physically talking to your peers, asking for help right in class, not worrying about like the whole internet camera sound connection situation. Like, so it's just an adjustment, and it hasn't been easy this past semester, but I'm hopeful. Like, we're going into a new semester, so I should get more used to it. Just trying to make the best out of it, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any professors or any courses that you found, especially in this time, that have done it particularly well or have been particularly helpful given the whole situation?
Yes, the professor who I think has done an amazing job at this change is Professor McDonald. She teaches sociology, psychology courses, and she has been the most like understanding, uh, fluid professor in all of this. Like, she has just been doing a great job. She's um not only has she made an adjustment with what's happening, but she also gives her students outlets to like come talk to her on like personal levels and check mental health check-ins and things of that sort. So I think professors can pull from her definitely to because that's the kind of change we need in professors during this time, I think.
Always huge to have people be understanding at any time, but especially nowadays. What do you hope to do with your degree? I mean, the idea of public health is pretty broad. What are you aiming for your future?
So I'm still trying to decide specifically where exactly I want to go in public health. I know I'd like it to take it into something that has to do with women's mental health because that is something that I can personally connect with. I am a huge women's advocate and I think women are amazing and we need to take care of them. So I know I want to go into something with that or with children, one of the two.
You're absolutely right on that account. It's so certainly a super important thing. Um, let's find out a little bit more about you other than just Nona, the student athlete. What's a hidden talent that you have, or maybe an interest that you have that people might not know if they only knew you as Nona, the public health major who's a field hockey player?
Well, I really like to draw. I have like an artistic side that my friends and close ones would know. I like to draw. I like to be creative and make things. And I like to paint. I like makeup. Yeah, that's pretty much
So
my little hobbies.
so anything that involves being artistic and creating something. What
Yeah.
when you're drawing, what kind of what materials do you like? Are you a crayon, a marker, a colored pencil type of person, or what kind of stuff do you like to work with the most?
I'm simple, so I'm a pencil and paper type of girl. I like pen too, with like really thick black ink and like drawing with that. So yeah.
We'll We'll have to find some samples of your art at some point. That could be a lot of fun.
We do. I'll show you.
We'll have to. So the one question that we always close these interviews with, and it's one we ask everybody who comes on the show. Other than your parents, who is somebody who's had a significant influence on your life, and how have they helped you become who you are?
Oh my goodness. I knew about this question the whole interview, and I'm still like, is it okay if I have like two people or like three people?
Hey, it's your, the floor is yours. Answer however you want.
Okay, well, ooh, yeah, there's just so many people. Like, all right, well, first I'll say, so a significant influence on me, right?
I always say this is simultaneously the easiest and hardest question you can ask somebody.
Yes, it really is, because
the way I look at it, you're lucky if it's difficult to pick just one person, because that means you've had a lot of people have an impact on you in a positive way.
yes, I really have. So it's not easy to think of just one, but I'll say like maybe two or three. Well, I guess first my Coach Ronnie. She'll be up there because she's watched me grow from my freshman year, meeting me as a little 18-year-old and watched me all the way up till now. Always have been a part of my life and been there for me, like whether it's field hockey or just figuring out where I want to go, different decisions I've had to make in these past 3 years. So she'll definitely be one of them. Okay, and then I guess I'll also say my roommate from last year, Tiffany Hernandez, she's also on the rugby team. Her, Daria Gagnon, they have been like my really good, solid core group friends from being in AIC. My teammates, Bree Wallace, Jessica Stone, my main girl, Jada Gilmore, she was an AIC alumni. She's been there for me through AIC. They've all these people have played, even though like it's like a lot of people, they've all played a huge role on me in my life and like just becoming who I am growing up. So I give all the credit to them, give all the credit to my family, give all the credit to God. And that's probably it. I'm gonna stop there because I will keep talking, but that's everybody. I'm pretty sure from the top of my head.
hey, like I said, it's there's nothing wrong with that, and being grateful to all the people. Like I said, I could list off 100 people. And to your point about Coach Ronnie, obviously her and I have been friends for 14 years now, and definitely somebody that I appreciate what she's done for me too. So that's one of the people I think we could both say. But Nona, thanks for coming on and doing this. Really appreciate talking to you. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of fun to get to watch you evolve as a field hockey player and a person as well. And I'm really looking forward, even though it's going to be weird in the spring, to getting to see you play again.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you so much for having me.
So that's Wynona Shaw from our field hockey team here at AIC on episode number 14 of the Yellow Jacket Experience. Keep your eyes peeled. We're going to have more really cool episodes. We've got a special one coming up with a 3-time NBA champion next, so watch out for that.